We're out here at Dafoste Park, where it appears we've recovered a body. What we know is this: yesterday or last night, around 11 p.m., we were notified of a missing person. Stacy Dramiga, 63-year-old female, had come up missing. Her husband initially became concerned when yesterday evening, she had failed to return. My understanding is that she was a regular. She used to love to come to work, walk the Greenway trails in the morning. Yesterday morning around 10 a.m. was the last time she was seen, and that she was coming out to this area. She was known to frequently walk alone in the parks and felt pretty comfortable doing so, is my understanding. When she didn't return to the evening, her husband and family friends became somewhat concerned. They came out to the area, and at Covington Park, not too far from here, maybe 2 miles up, they found her car, and the car was secured. No obvious signs of foul play in the car. They then notified authorities. We became involved, and between us and San Antonio Park Police, being that that's a county park, this is a city park, began working together. We were able to ping her phone, which was pinging in this general area, but it wasn't giving us a very specific location, but a very general, broad area. This morning, one of our investigators was able to get in contact with her family, who was able to give him an iPad. That was able to give us a more accurate ping on her phone. So utilizing the app on the link, the iPad together with the phone, it pretty much gave us a very tight circle where we were able to go. A search team comprised of Bexar County deputies and San Antonio Park police officers. One of the park police officers was able to find a body in the woods. Now, at this point, it's too early to definitively say that this is Ms. Dramiga, but what we can tell you is that description-wise, it's a pretty close description to what we believe Ms. Dramiga was what she looked like at the time. So unfortunately, at this point, you know, we're continuing to handle this as a homicide investigation. BCSO homicide is on scene. Our CSI team is on scene, and for the better part of the day, we will have deputies on mounted units or on horseback throughout the Greenway trails, as well as park police officers that are continuing. And what we're doing out here right now is we're looking for any evidence, being that her car was a couple miles away. You know, we don't know if she walked directly from there to the point where we found this body, or if she may have walked further down and then was on her way back to the car. So at this point, we're considering a very big crime scene area that needs to be searched. So people will be seeing us through here on a regular basis, at least throughout the day, probably over the course of the next several days. Of course, I would use this as an opportunity to just remind anybody. The Greenway trails are absolutely safe, right? But you have to, no matter where you are, whether you're in a park, you know, a rural area, or in the middle of the city, you've got to be aware of your surroundings at all times. You've got to make sure that you're notifying somebody of where you're going to be. You know, if you're going to the mall by yourself shopping, you know, it's a good idea to let somebody know, drop a pin on your cell phone, let them know the general area you will be, just on the off chance something does happen to you. We want you to be aware of your surroundings at all times. Now, here's what we would ask. Ms. Dramiga, at the time of her disappearance, my understanding is she was wearing a long sleeve athletic type shirt and multicolored like tights, yoga pant type pants, along with a hat and a scarf. My understanding is that she would typically be completely covered for sun protection as she went on these walks. We're asking that anybody that may have come into contact with her yesterday at any time, or may have passed her on the trail and saw her, please let us know where you were and approximately where she was found, or where you saw her at. Yesterday, a park police officer was mentioning to us that they saw whom they believe to be her talking to another female on the trail. Now, while we don't believe that other female is involved in any way, he described this other female as an African-American female that is also a regular walker out here. The park police officers are familiar with both. We would ask that lady contact us, please, and just let us know what was said. Was there anything? Did she see anybody else on the trails around that time? Because we believe that to be around the last time that she was seen, and this would have been right around that 10 o'clock time frame that she was seen with that person. Again, one of the other things, and this is a slim chance that this may have happened, we know that quite frequently people that are out mountain biking out in these trails or walking in these trails may have a GoPro with them running. you know, at the capturing footage. We would ask if you were out here on Sunday, you know, videotaping any of your activities, even if you don't believe that you saw her, please share that video with us. If you again, it may have captured somebody that may be a suspect in this homicide that we're handling right now. Again, it's a slim chance that it may have happened, but we're putting this out there in hopes that somebody may have captured something. We're asking anybody from the public that may have any light to shed on this case. If this other woman that was a regular walker out here, if she sees this and is able to make contact with us, please, or anybody that wants to share our video or any other additional information. 210-335-6000 is the non-emergency number. You can also email us at bcsotips@bear.org. Esta mañana nosotros estamos en una escena de lo que nosotros pensamos que es un homicidio. Anoche aproximadamente a las 11 nosotros recibimos una llamada de un hombre que su esposa, Stacy Dramiga, no había regresado. Ella estaba en este parque haciendo ejercicio. Ella regularmente viene a este parque y otros en el área a caminar. Ella, cuando no regresó, el esposo de ella y amigos de ella empezaron a buscarla. Ellos se encontraron con el carro de Miss Dramiga, señorita Dramiga, en un parque, Covington Park. Se encontraron con el carro. El carro estaba trancado y todo, pero se aparenta que ella de allí, lanzó su ejercicio y ahí dejó el carro mientras que ella empezaba a hacer ejercicio. No la encontramos. Nosotros trabajamos con la policía de los parques de la ciudad de San Antonio durante toda la noche. Esta mañana sí logramos encontrar un señal de su teléfono usando un iPad de ella, que el iPad y el teléfono están juntos. Entonces con eso logramos encontrar, bueno, ahorita encontramos un cuerpo. El cuerpo parece que es posible que vaya a ser la señorita que estábamos buscando, pero por ahorita no podemos decir hasta que el médico forénsico digan 100% quién es esta persona. Queremos recordarle al público que si salgan a los parques o a donde sea a compras, tienen que ir con un grupo o decirle a alguien dónde van. Muy seguido estas cosas pueden pasar en cualquier parte de la ciudad o del condado, pero por eso les recordamos al público que por favor tengan cuidado a dónde van, con quién van y dígales a alguien con quién están. Any questions? Un poco más adentro en el monte, cerca de donde hacen ejercicio, pero más metido al monte. Bueno, seguimos el señal del celular y cerca de ahí es donde nosotros encontramos este cuerpo. Okay, so where the body was found was actually, so there's a paved trail that runs through these areas. That's a frequent walking path, biking path. The body was actually found probably, if I'm guessing, about 30 yards into the wooded area off of that trail. And so, you know, right now obviously, while we're not able to say just yet 100% that this is Ms. Dramiga's body, what we can say is that the phone was pinging very, very close to that area. And so right now, the fire marshal is on scene. You know, we've got various units from the city park police that are out here helping us, and our CSI is out helping us out as well. Bueno, pues por ahorita, aunque no puedo comentar mucho en la evidencia específicamente, sí sé que nosotros hemos encontrado evidencia que fue un delito, que algo le pasó a esta mujer y que alguien obviamente fue, para nosotros ahorita parece un homicidio. Okay. I'm sorry, what was the question again? Okay, yes, and I'm sorry. We just got a lot going on at the moment. My apologies. So we believe it's a homicide at this point. The question is do we believe that she may have fallen? At this point, there's enough. While I can't say exactly what evidence we're relying upon, what I can tell you is at this point it does appear that there was foul play involved. We don't believe that she went off that trail voluntarily. We believe that she was either forced or taken off of the trail to the point where we found the body.
Can you say what kind of weapon?
No, sir. No, sir. Again, at this point, we just believe that it's a homicide, but I won't part with too much more information than that. My apologies. Yes, at this point, we don't believe that her family was involved in any way, shape, or form. They are having obviously normal family reactions to what we found, and obviously, while we told them that we can't, 100% say that this is her remains, we're operating with that as a distinct possibility, and the family's been cooperating with us 100%. Well, yeah, absolutely. And again, I don't think that this points necessarily to the safety of the parks or the trailways. I think the trails are just as safe as anywhere else. It's just important upon us to be mindful of personal safety. Traveling in groups is always the best practice. If you're going to be out walking or running or biking on a trail, take a friend, take a group of friends. And again, whether you're male or female, it's just a matter of good safety to go with a group of friends. I mean, I've seen instances where somebody has a bad bike wreck out here and they're laying for several hours before they're found. So again, it's just from the safety perspective, it's best to travel with a group of friends. If you can't go out with a group of friends, then it's best to let somebody know where you're going to be and give them, frequent updates. If you can belong to one of those apps that you can track your family, that's also not a bad idea at all.
Was she on Strava or any of those apps that you know of since she had a phone?
Well, that I don't know what apps she had on her phone, but what led us to help her, help us find this scene was the fact that her phone was linked to the iPad through a Find My iPhone app. So we were able to get pinged into the area where the body was ultimately found.
How far?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sue, and then I'll come over here.
You said that you're going to be searching the area from
Yes.
here to Covington. How many homeless camps or evidence of homeless situations are between here and there? Because they're out there.
Absolutely. So there are homeless encampments that are between here and there. We have found some evidence of that. Now, it's too early for us to say, and I know that's not what you're implying. It's too early for us to say that that a homeless individual is responsible for this. But somebody from those homeless encampments may have seen something that maybe seemed untoward. Or suspicious, much like the park police officers know who the regulars are. I'd venture to say that some of the regular homeless people out here probably also know who the regular walkers are and who are not. If they may have seen a person or persons that may be stuck out, we need to be advised of that as soon as possible. But there are homeless encampments in the area, and our mounted unit is out on horseback. We've also got deputies out here on bicycles trying to find some of those encampments, again, in hopes of interviewing people.
You made specific references to her clothes that she was wearing when she disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
You have those clothes?
Well, I wouldn't comment too much on the evidence that was found there at the scene. The reason that I was specific on what she was wearing yesterday is because in case anybody saw her, on the trail, and they may be a regular walker, maybe they can tell us where they saw her, so we can more accurately reconstruct her route, where she traveled from. Again, I don't know if she traveled straight from Covington to this point where we are now, or if she may have gone and she was on her way back. Again, that would also help us in narrowing down times.
And then she was just walking. There's no evidence like her car being somewhere or anything.
No, her car was at Covington Park. We already took her car. We have it in our custody. So, of course, one of the things for us is we don't believe that the car was involved at all, other than she took it to where it was. We are still going to be obviously running a search warrant on that car and going through it. Also utilizing whatever tools we have at our disposal, technology-wise, to be able to try to reconstruct her movements.
Any other problems that you know of here at the park?
No, again, I don't think that the parks are necessarily any more dangerous than anywhere else, or I think it's just a matter of good, public or personal safety, no matter where you are. Okay, thank y'all so much.